Okay, just in relation to the regulatory regime, and as you said, Deputy, it's been in place for 20 years. I think it's pursued a relentless purpose, which is the lowest airport charge at Dublin Airport by any comparison. In fact, that's pretty much what the legislation says it has to do. I have some hope that with the new legislation and the amalgamation of other regulatory requirements or processes within the same body, that perhaps a more balanced view of the entirety of aviation might emerge from that body, but that's yet to be seen because that merger hasn't taken place yet. That's perhaps looking in hope into the future. But I think one of the things, and I've mentioned previously, there is not an incentive built into the system to have infrastructure before you need it. In fact, there's a penalty for doing it, in terms of reducing your pricing. That makes it quite difficult to both meet current requirements and build. And in a busy airport, when you're building, inevitably you're taking away some capacity to build on it while you're providing for the long term. We have a very significant construction plan ahead of us. When you use dates like 2029, we're talking about the end of the process for all of the construction, as opposed to nothing will be delivered within that time. We can clearly take the committee through the graduated phasing of delivery of infrastructure in some other process. But there have been a number of invitations as to what could be done, either in terms of policy context or otherwise by the committee. There are two things that create a difficulty for us. One is, as I said, that regime in terms of funding capacity, and coming back to one of the points that Catherine made about our lending capacity, our credit rating. What we say to a lender is we will not damage our credit rating, so therefore, if there's any possibility that we will do that, of course we will defer the investment and not strain our balance sheet. That doesn't make the capacity get delivered any further, but it does make us capable of maintaining the financial integrity of the country. That is an inbuilt compromise that is in the existing system that could be amended with a different, more assertive funding mechanism in place. The second thing is planning. And it won't surprise anybody in the committee here that all of these large infrastructure projects have yet to go through planning processes, have yet to go through on board Panola appeals, etc., and will do. And I think a concern that I would have, and one that I would share among infrastructure providers, housing is absolutely fundamentally needed in Ireland. There is no doubt about that. But we need infrastructure in the economy as well. And I would just suggest that as we pressurise the planning system to provide more houses, we pressurise them and equip them to provide infrastructure as well. Because ultimately, having all the people that are housed appropriately but not able to access public transport or airport infrastructure, etc., will not be an optimal solution either. So that is one area that I think we would absolutely like the committee to carry the flag on, which is in terms of enabling us, to have a plan in place to build that infrastructure, to provide it gradually, and there are probably too many components of the jigsaw to just outline them here as to what that will precisely look like.